Hey everybody, Vincent Janito here, hanging out with Peter, Combo Fiend Rosas, associate producer on Street Fighter 5. How you doing, Peter?
Oh man, I'm doing well. How about yourself?
Oh, I'm doing great. I've gotten a chance to take a look now at the Street Fighter 5 story expansion entitled A Shadow Falls. More substantial than I was expecting. Let's talk about it a little bit. So when exactly in the whole Street Fighter canon does A Shadow Falls take place?
This takes place after Street Fighter 4, but before Street Fighter 3.
Gotcha. And like, what's the general gist? Like, what's kind of the general gist of what's happened here? I think this is like kind of the fall of Shadaloo, and then Bison trying to consolidate power, or
Bison's up to his old tricks. World domination is always on his mind, and this is the story of how Bison attempts to achieve that. Does he succeed or does he not? I'm not sure. You'd have to play to figure it out.
Got you. And so how long, roughly, like, this is a pretty sizable expansion. Like, this is not just a series of fights with a couple, like, animated, like, this is, like...
No, this is a full-blown story. I mean, I was in the studio with the voice actors and actresses as they recorded lines. There's tons of dialogue, a lot of battles. You're looking at, 4 to 5 hours. It's pretty deep.
Gotcha, yeah. And, like, what I thought was pretty cool is that this is the first time in Street Fighter 5 where we're seeing some of these character models from all different angles. You guys use a lot of different cinematic angles. It's not just like a side, it's not like you don't feel like it's a jury-rigged like side angle storytelling just using the regular Street Fighter engine. This feels like it's the same models, but you're seeing them from all different angles. Like, was it the intention to have these character models like be viewable and look good from every angle from the start?
Yeah. One of the core design elements was to make sure that when we did have different scenes that it was just a seamless transition, that there was no animation or no additional things that were added. It was just straight up the models, just acting out the scenes. So they were just built out to completion. Same thing with the stages and every other piece used for the title. Yeah,
cool. You can really tell when you look at the different cutscenes and stuff. Saw some interesting cameos in there, including one of Sean, who I think a lot of people would love to see come back as a playable character, but if nothing else, it was just cool to catch him in. So that was definitely Sean in there? That wasn't like a tease?
That was Laura's little brother, Sean.
Oh, nice, sick. And what other kind of cameos do you think people can expect from other characters? Maybe some future playable characters in the story expansion?
Well, I mean, I don't want to give anything away, but this could be one of the games where people could play with dolls. We'll see what happens.
Okay, all right. Well, moving on, we got a new playable character as well. We got Ibuki, returning from Third Strike. Okay, so she's the second character now to return from Third Strike, and also she was in Street Fighter 4 as well, obviously. So let's talk a little bit about her. How has she, like, what are the big differences between how she plays now and how she played in 4?
Well, in 4, she was very loop dependent. A lot of the people that played her, they would use the Samuji kick, and they would loop that into a knockdown and then use her kunai to mix you up. And it was a very rinse, wash, repeat process. In this game, the emphasis is more on her trickery. You can see it in her V-skill when she disappears and the log hits you. You can see it when she does her little dash and it goes through your body really quickly. You can see it with all her V-trigger with her explosive bombs and her explosive kunais and things like that. She just concentrates more now on the way of the ninja and using that to overcome the opponent.
Nice. So she's definitely not as focused on set play, but that doesn't mean that she doesn't have some sick setups, right? Like, tell me about some of the stuff that you were pulling out on me while we were playing our set.
Yeah, she has a target combo, medium kick, crouch heavy kick, stand heavy kick, which if you cancel out of it, you could really put the opponent in an unfortunate situation. And because she's such a high momentum character, if you really keep her offense going and you time some resets in there through her
the command dash,
her command dash attack, command dash itself properly, then you can really knock the opponent out quickly. Her damage output is pretty high.
Oh, I saw. You showed me what her damage output is like.
Her stun output is pretty high as well. So she's definitely a character that can take the opponent out before they even blink their eyes.
I believe it. So tell me, what kind of impact do you think Ibuki is going to have on the overall meta and the competitive scene? Because so far, I think even though all the DLC characters have been enjoyable, well made, so far, none of them have really kind of hugely and massively changed like who's winning at tournaments and like kind of who you're seeing play well online. Do you think Ibuki? Do you think all the characters just need more time, or do you think Ibuki maybe is going to be maybe more well suited to making an immediate splash than the rest of them were?
No, actually, I think Ibuki is going to take time for people to really make a splash with. I mean, she seems extremely simple and limited when you first touch her, but then when you start seeing how to really apply her command dash and her EX, sorry, not EX, but the extended kunais and all those things, and how to really use her V-trigger bomb, then it creates an entirely different game. And that kind of game takes time to develop. People need time to figure out just what kind of setups you can use, or what bomb can you use. Should I throw the EX kunai to make the bomb explode? There's a lot of things to keep track of with her, also her kunai count. So it's going to be kind of hard for players to succeed with her in the beginning. At least that's what I believe. But over time, once people really start getting into her and digging into what she can do, it could be pretty scary.
Yeah, she seems really, really scary, and the possibilities seem. There seems to be a pretty high ceiling in terms of the kinds of setups you can come up with. Yeah, very much looking forward to seeing what the best players in the world do once they've had some time with Ibuki. So finally, the big question, Peter: when can players expect to be downloading the story update for Street Fighter V?
Oh, they can expect to get that at the end of June, towards the end of June, yeah.
Awesome, and Ibuki along with it at the same time?
Correct.
Sweet. Well, Peter, thank you very much again. Peter Combo Fiend Rosas, associate producer of Street Fighter V. Thank you so much for listening, and for more on Street Fighter V, keep it right here on IGN.